Just praying to goodness this thing actually starts when we're done this. Carburetor! That goes on there, no doubt, because it has the shape of a D like that. You hear me groan a lot because I'm just not a happy camper with this mess. Gas is on, so that's good. And these rods aren't that far off. So that goes on there now like that. And we can put the fuel line on at the same time. Okay, we're going to just seal up that fuel line. These are so small, Hondas, you don't really need the fuel line pliers, but you still need some persuasion. Okay, are we on? Yes, we're on. I'm just going to lower that fuel clamp down onto there, and if we have to use a separate tank, we will. Now, this guy goes like that, I believe. Oh no, dropped it. It's a good thing I was on the wrong side anyway. Okay, there's two holes right there. Good. And then our cover. And we need our sleeves. These are the sleeves for the bolts. They can butt up against. And we can slip this on. We turn both of these off. Oh, that's tight. Good. And then we connect the vent tube. Hopefully this is the only time we have to do this, right? And then our two carburetor bolts. Something doesn't feel quite solid. Good. Good. Alright, now, is this a 10 millimeter? 10 millimeter. I should just zip on there like that. Good. Now I'm just going to temporarily bolt this back onto here like I did before. Just make sure there's nothing in the way. It feels like a soft mount, but it doesn't. And I'm going to push the motor all the way down so that we might be able to get that cover off again without having to unmount the engine. One. Okay, here I'm just mounting the engine. We're going to tilt it and tighten it. There we go. Yeah, there might be enough slack in there now. That's how that should have been mounted all along. I'm not going to do the other two. Okay, so we need a 12 and a 13 or 13 and a 13. Good. Now, except for the fact that we have a filthy carburetor, I'm going to just mount this little guy loose. This is I think this is the relay to kill the engine if it's low on oil. Let's just check the oil. It's good, spilling out. Maybe it's got too much oil. Some guys like to tilt these on an angle and fill them because it's easier, and then you end up with too much oil too. Good. So how do you want to handle this now? Do we run a temporary tank or do we try and clean the tank? We're going to have to try and clean the tank eventually, right? So let's just try and clean the tank right now. Yuckaroo. But I could move the rust. I could move the rust with a screwdriver. So let's get what I call used fuel and a funnel. And I don't think the first treatment is going to matter if there's any dirt or anything in it because it's dirty. I've also got the fuel that came in this tank too, right? Okay. Oh, I need to pinch off the bottom. So let's just do that. If I got a piece of line, I can shove on there. And then just grab a... Stop! Stop! I will just pinch that off like that. Good. Now let's get some gas in there. Might as well use the lid, right? And we're going to dump it back into here. You can do this over and over again. So how did we do on round one? Fair. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm sure most small engine guys try this kind of thing. Just use my hand. I might have to put, I'm going to dump a few bolts into there. I saved all of these. They're a panhead bolt, I call them. Beveled bolt, some sort of thing. I'm going to throw them in here. Because this tank, I don't think this tank is as rusty as I think it is. I think it's just, this is just a collection of ethanol and oxygen. Are you ready? I know there's a little filter in here that might get damaged, but that's not our problem. How are we doing? Are we making any progress? That's all I want to know. Yeah, we kind of are. Good. Okay, you guys get the drift, right? Okay, my friends, here we are. The engine's just mounted with 2 bolts, not 4, so we can take it out easily again. The high pressure side is still connected. Alright, I've got the carburetor gas turned on. We should have some sort of throttle action. Let's just have a little look here. I don't know. Yeah, we got some throttle action. I don't think I feel any leaks yet. So I'm just going to see if I can give it a start. Now, contrary to popular opinion, I've learned through old pump guys that you can run these a few seconds without hurting them. So let's just see. I think that is choke, no choke. So let's just give it a small yank and see if it fires, and we'll go to plan B. Alright, we can't ask for better than that. So I'm going to take it over to the door. Well, let's just plug the water in right now. I'll be right back. So you may have noticed that it's hard to start once it's been running, and that's probably because the bypass valve is not releasing. And because it's an old one, I don't really want to tear into it, but I'm going to just lift this pin up and check and see what kind of dirt is in there. I don't know where I am with my camera at all. Okay, I'm just changing the oil now. I'm going to take the drain cap off just to see if the flow increases. A little. That's okay. So while that's happening, I'm going to take out the bypass valve and see if it's dirty. Okay, so I've just pulled this out of here. These 2 holes, you see that? There, the retainer. And now I'm extracting just the rubber right now. Oh yeah, I better turn off the water. See, that's what's nice about the quick connects, eh? And now I can just probably pry that. I don't have 3 arms, guys, so I'm just going to bring that out like that. I'm going to use one of the springs and just bring it out. Sorry, I don't have 3 arms, but that it'll go. Maybe you can watch. We'll bring in the chair. We'll chair the next motion. Who will be the chair of this committee? None of the above. It's just about a chair. There we go. All I'm doing is checking for dirt and crud. I'm not planning on rebuilding anything. I like the cover, although it does give one a false sense of security, doesn't it? There it is. I'm just going to clean it up in the hole and out of the hole. Alright, I'm just going to use a little carb spray on this and stick it back in. Okay. So the big test is the second startup to see if the bypass valve releases, because I just took it out, cleaned it, and put it back in. Hold on. We have water. Screwdriver away, don't want to get hit with any flying objects. And this is kind of scary. I found this, it fell off somewhere. Help me, guys, I don't know where that would come from. It didn't come from the bypass valve. Oh, maybe it's holding the wheel on. Let's just have a little look around here. No, I don't know. Spare part. Don't like that. Okay, on, off, choke. Now it should bypass and start. should be able to choke it and start. Well, I guess I can let the pressure up. Well, I'm not going to let the pressure up though, because if I have to, I will. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we got to turn it on. Two in a row is good enough for pressure washers. So, oil's changed, the filter was clean. Well, although just a word of note, in pressure washers, the air filter very seldom gets dirty. If anything, they get wet. And it's got a torch spark plug, Roy's the boy, if you're watching. And I just wiped it off and put it back on. Because it does run. I'm kind of in an austerity program around here right now. Isn't everybody, right? Just because a lot of the machines this year have sucked up my used parts like a cactus in the desert, or I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. Oh gosh, thanks a lot, folks. It was fun. Okay, so that's what I got out of the carb bowl and the gas tank. It's dried out now, right? But the gas tank came pretty good. I wonder if we should have just a short little look in there. I don't know if we can from here. Oh yeah, we got the evil little cover. Is it going to come off? Yeah, it's going to. No, we need a light, I guess. We always need a light. Yeah, that's okay. I've seen worse, guys. There's no residue floating in there. Whoops. Thank you. Okay, this isn't a fluke. This is the time of day where I wear out. 7 minutes after 4. And once again, every weapon in the arsenal is out. Until 7 minutes after 4. I bumped the camera. Alright, let's have a look here. So, we got a problem. We'll forget about the time for a minute. Doesn't that stick out like a sore thumb? So that's what's nice about cleaning up. Now I got a project. I have to find that 5/16. And you know, it's always a 5/16. In small engines, it's a 5/16 or 10 millimeters. So there, I started at 7 after. So that's 5, 10, yeah, 5, 10, 14 minutes. Nope. 5, 10, 15, 22 minutes. That's more like it, eh? Where's the numbers? That's it. I'm not as happy with this different set of sockets because they have the little bite and they don't fit as well as on the ends of the extensions as the old ones do. So you know what? I spend enough time out here. Here's my excuse. A day of skiing or recreating of any kind is hundreds of dollars. I think I should go buy a few dollars worth of 1/4-inch sockets. Come on, get in there now. For all you telephone men out there, spudgers. Lots of different names for those. Okay, we're there.